Prime IV Delray Beach helps you feel better, look better, and perform better with IV vitamin therapy. Each of our IV drips is the equivalent of 2.5 gallons of hydration and a custom blended mix of vitamins designed to help you reach your health goals. The top complaints we address are more energy, better sleep, sports recovery, meaning less soreness when you work out, or a great boost to your immune system. Come in if you're feeling under the weather or to help stave off those nasty bugs if someone's in your house and brought them home. Use the code word SWEET, SWEET, for 20% off any IV treatment valid at the Delray Beach location only.
Hello, everybody. It's Andrea Trout with Sweet and Spicy Podcast. Super excited for today's episode. I'm here with my co-host,
Carolina Rush, a.k.a. Spicy.
Spicy Spice. And we have two of our most excellent friends here, Miss Pam Orzan and Miss Tonya Lake. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
I was
Two
waiting for her
members
to
of the
say
girl
like
gang.
Bill and Ted. You said like most excellent. I was waiting for
Oh my gosh.
Bill and Ted.
Ted's.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's what I thought.
Party
right?
time.
Party
Excellent.
time. Excellent.
Well, we've all dated ourselves now, so we can get going with talking about the Girl Gang. Because nobody under the age of 40 knows that movie.
No, not really.
So you had actually wanted to also do this, and I had texted you and said, hey, let's do one on friendship and the girl gang and all of that. And so I had looked up, and I really kind of didn't even really know this was a thing, but how friendships affect you. And so one of the things that it says on the internet is friends help overcome stress. They give you a sense of belonging. They are your emotional support system. They're good for your mental health. They support you in achieving your goals. And they're actually linked to financial success, and they improve your mood, which is pretty wild. Like, I don't really think about that.
I wholeheartedly agree. Honestly.
With all of it.
Yeah.
So blue zones, to go to health, one of the areas of the world where people live to 100 or more. One of the commonalities of the blue zones in the world is if they have a community, meaning friends, like they're part of a community outside their household. So that tells you how important that is to longevity in addition to all those other things you just listed.
Right.
It is so important to have a strong connection with people.
Right, absolutely. And I think improving mood, I can tell you this year, I think I've been even though I went through a shitty relationship, I've been the happiest I've ever been. And I think it is all because of this group.
Yeah.
Stress
the girl
relief,
gang.
right?
Like
Stress relief.
And it's fun. And you just know you're not alone in anything. And it's just been so, how many memories have we made? Like, amazing.
Every single day.
And
every
it's
single weekend.
It's recent, right? Like in the last year, this girl gang's really kind of
We kind of found each other.
Yeah.
we
Even
did.
less than a year. I mean, it started small, and then it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I've met amazing people, new through you, Jody,
everybody
and
brings
Cindy
their friends,
and Ann
right?
and Amy.
And positive friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's all positive. There's no gossip. There's no drama. It's it's positive.
And we're all
people.
so different in a lot of ways, too, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Right. We're even different ages. We're different. We come from different places. Some people have kids. Some people don't have kids. We were saying like some are
Relationship
married, some are
status,
divorced, some are
political.
Taste in
not. Political
music.
tastes. Right.
We don't bring
music
that one up,
tastes.
but
I just said that. I said music taste. Music. Pam's the hard rock girl, and I'm the country girl. And they
We're
don't
like
really
polar
combine.
and I'm like the hip
there's,
hop girl.
Southern rock. There's Southern rock.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
Leonard Skinner.
We were actually talking about you last night because Tammy, another member of the girl gang, bought Andrea these like country boots earrings. And so Pam said, oh, those would be cool for Tonya. And I was like, is Tonya country? And I don't remember what you said, but what are you?
I don't remember what I said. I don't think I said Tonya. Did I say Tonya?
Didn't you say Tonya?
It
No, I
wasn't
feel
part
like
of
I
the
said-
conversation.
No, I feel like I said they're really awesome for Andrea.
Oh, no.
Well,
You
Andrea-
said Tonya. And then I said to you, is Tonya country? And you're like, no. We had a conversation about it.
We did. Right,
But you were surprised by my Janis Joplin song at the recent karaoke. You were like, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think I
But
know
then
now.
you played freestyle, and I was like, what is freestyle?
Right.
I totally do remember this now because we were talking about how you are you're like one of those like hybrids. Like you're like a city girl and you're all like coiffed and a lawyer and all that.
I'm
you
just
know,
not like suburban. I could do city, I could do country,
But she's
I don't wanna
also
do
like, I
suburban.
could go camping and I can go on a farm and
I could go to a 5-star hotel.
Exactly. Or a tent. Yeah.
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 That's pretty awesome. I mean, it goes to show you're very open-minded.
Yeah, like I think it's versatile, but I think that's what our friend group is like, which is so cool. We all bring something different to the table and we suggest things like line dancing or karaoke.
We never got to do that.
I was like, it still hasn't happened, but it will.
We'll do it.
I'm going to drag you all there.
I'll do it. I'm going to wear a hat.
I was already looking. I put up I Googled a list. What things can friends do together for a night out or something? And it was like a cooking class. So I did look up Stir La Table to look up what the prices were. It's like $100. And then dance lessons.
Ooh.
Which I thought would be really fun. I was
'Cause I
like,
can't
I'm
do
going to
it.
have to bring a change of clothes because I'll probably pee my pants.
Right.
Laughing?
Yes.
I'm not
checking. I was
coordinated.
like, wait.
Yeah, no. Well, sometimes when I sneeze,
I was like, are we talking weak pelvic floor or just the hilarity of it all?
Yeah, you never know.
Both.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny when you talk about looking something up because I had been married for 20 years and had gone to law school while I had kids, and we had relocated from Wisconsin to Buffalo. And when we got divorced, I had no friends. And he took the kids on the weekends, like every other weekend. And I was like, what do? I don't have any friends. I don't have a support network. And I literally Googled, how do you meet friends? And then there were these suggestions like meetups. And so I did meetups in Buffalo and found, friends that way. But then COVID happened and meetups kind of fell by the wayside because there was like this no longer like interaction with like people. And so when I moved to Florida, I didn't have friends. And I moved from Buffalo to Florida, with a relationship. And I was like, how am I going to meet my people? Like, I don't consider myself generally like a Florida person, although I finally learned how to dress like a Floridian.
Right. She's got the wedges on now.
And got
that's
the wedges and the mini skirt. But, then my significant other met Pam through a networking group. And he came home and said, you'd really like this girl, Pam. And then we became friends, and then Pam introduced me to you and you and you, and it just snowballed. And I think now we have this like amazing, very fulfilling group that's, helped me in my journey in the 2 years that I've been in Florida. I'm moving away for a job now, but just the support, I don't know what I would have done.
I object to that.
To the movie.
Yeah.
I understand why you're doing
Andrea.
it, but I object to that.
I agree with her.
Situation unfolding.
And it's ironic because I think and I've heard Florida is not the easiest place to make friends.
I've heard that too.
It's so funny because I felt like it was kindergarten. I was like, you go to a happy hour, you're like, hey, where are you from? Do you live in
South
Delray?
Florida specifically.
I had an easy
No,
time.
I heard that too. Because when I first moved here, I was in my 20s. I
It
had
can
a
be
hard
very
time
cliquey.
making friends. Yeah.
It's people aren't as welcoming, but also I'm from Boca. I think that's more Boca than Delray. But so yeah, that's
I think you can have that story anywhere. I mean, I know I moved to Colorado in 2005 and didn't know anybody, and it was before really the internet was the internet of today, that's for sure. But I was reading a book on personal growth and spirituality, and one of the things she had these little groups that were all over, and you could look it up online, even though it was a very different internet. And I found a group. Well, one of my best friends I found from that group, and from that I found like what was the equivalent of YPAD, the Young Professionals Association, and from that I met all my friends, right? But I did not have an easy time of it. That took months, right? So I was on my own for months. I did the same thing in Las Vegas. I met people through real estate groups and stuff. But I'll tell you, Vegas, and I wasn't there as long, was way harder than Florida. It's so transitional. So again, I would encourage people to not take on that story of South Florida. I think it is what you make it. Like, go to a happy hour and talk to people.
Agreed.
Like,
Talk to the person next to you, like, hey, where are you from?
come to the chamber.
Yeah.
I do that always because I know when I first got here, and I've always, even just as a child, I always had a lot of friends. I like girlfriends. But when I first moved here, I struggled with it a little bit. So now that I've been here for so long, I'm really welcoming. Like, I really try to help people, girlfriends, even guys. We have some guys that pop in and out of our little girl gang here and there.
They're lucky.
Yeah, they are.
Can we talk about the vision board party that you had?
Oh, yeah,
that was really
awesome.
fun.
It's still hanging on my refrigerator.
Oh, mine's hanging right by my
Mine's
desk.
in my bed.
Yeah, it's by my desk.
In your bed?
by my bed.
She sleeps with it every night.
Manifesting. It's true manifesting.
Osmosis. Yeah, but truly, like, this is where I met a lot of people. So Pam had a vision board party in, what was it, January, right after the new year.
Right.
And you had a history of doing that with friends. And so we had a brunch and we all brought poster boards and magazines and cutouts and we created a vision for 2024. I'd never done that. I met the most amazing people.
That was a really fun day.
It was really great.
And I brought a friend who was going through a divorce at the time.
Right. And now
having a hard
she's part of the girl gang.
And now she's having a blast with all of you. And, you know, it was just like such a unique experience. What were there, like 20 of us in your house?
Yeah, close probably. And I have a little baby house.
Scissors, poster
It was
boards.
fine.
And not only that, not only did we get to meet new people that day, but because we were looking, like we got to know each other a little more because you're like, oh, if you find something about traveling to Africa, I want that. You know, so, and you're like, what? You want to go to Africa?
Right. Somebody
Like,
wanted like a bridal gown or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. You knew what they were
We
thinking.
need to do
right?
that again.
Oh, we're going to do it at the beginning of every year.
Okay.
Because it's a fresh one for every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Plane
have
ticket
last
for you
year's.
back.
I wonder
That's
how
right.
different they'll be.
Mine's so similar from the year before. I was looking at that. Mine's really similar.
Interesting.
But because I feel like when I started my business, it was like, so it's just, I'm still kind of in that same thing.
Right.
A little bit,
It's all right.
But it's just cyclical, right? Life is cyclical.
Yeah.
But I think it's so cool how our group of friends is so positive and forward looking and thinking and supportive of each other. You know, I know there's like some commentary out there that we're a girl gang and we're anti-men or feminists or whatever. And like, that's so far from the case, right? Like,
we never
That drives
really
me
do
crazy. We do not.
that. Ever.
Yeah, we don't bash men when we get to, that is
No.
not what this is about.
Never.
I don't even
Right.
think we've, I mean, I might have been, discussed my
break up.
personal issues or
For support.
whatever
For support.
or advice or whatever, but that is the furthest thing from our minds when we are together.
Right. We
It's all
literally
about drinking.
go
it's
out
all about fun.
and we're like, okay, we'll have
Positivity.
Well, we know what they're going to have. They're going to have high noons. These two. You know what they're going to. We
You're
literally
having
could order
Jack.
for each other.
You're having Jack and
you're
Diet.
having a
What-
crown.
yeah, that's right.
So that's the first thing we do.
That's right.
And then we're like, okay, what are we eating?
What are we
Right?
eating?
We
Right.
got to worry about the food.
Do you want to dance? Do you not want to dance? Do you have
Right.
the sweat wipes or not?
Janine,
Which I always have.
Janine
They're in
loves
my
those.
purse right now, actually.
Janine wears them as like clothes.
I love sweat wipes.
She wears them on her face.
South Florida, you got to in July.
Yeah,
Right.
we usually use them.
Well, Carolina got me on those little handheld. I have my little handheld phone.
good.
I got a blue one, so it looked different.
fan?
Yeah, she's a pink
Yeah.
one. I got a blue one, so it looked different. But that was the best thing ever.
From the concert?
Yes.
The
No, it
funniest thing
changes your life, that little thing.
Yeah.
at Janet Jackson, there were so many people that had them. And I was like, this is a thing. This
That
is a real
Amazon
thing.
seller is making a killing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's many.
It's a
Right.
good Christmas gift for anybody.
Right. But you know what's good too? It's really small, fit in my purse easy.
Yeah.
And nobody, like, it's a security, like, nobody cares.
I want to see now if I can get some branded for Prime IV. That's a
It's
good
a
one.
good one.
I know. It's
That is
Oh,
a good
that's
one.
great for
a good one.
the location.
Oh, I should probably
Yeah.
do that too, right?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one for me too, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
But it's the best thing I ever bought.
Yeah.
You know what the best thing I think about this group is we have this ongoing thread, right? And it's like we're going to do this thing, you know?
Yeah, it's a terrible thread, actually. Terrible in the best possible
In
way.
the best possible way, because you can catch up later, but there's always something to do. Like every week, there's at least one thing you can look forward to. So you can be going through a really hard time, you can be going through a transition, and it's like, hey, I've got this thing on Thursday. And you have something to look forward to, and you can just like read silly memes, and sometimes they're ridiculous, especially if they come from Janine.
I was going to say, you can count on Janine to give a really ridiculous video.
that
TikTok.
Housewives one with the Disney princesses was seriously probably one of the funniest things.
They were high.
Yeah, seriously. Right.
So one thing I do want to add, because I'm dying to do this, and I think I talked to you about it last night. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll do it at your vision board party so we don't actually go out. But I want to do the Sheen outfits.
I agree.
Where we buy an
Oh,
outfit for another
funny.
person and they have to wear it no matter what it is. Andrea, okay, I won't get yours. Somebody else will buy yours.
There you go. It's not Janine
She's like,
either. Because I'm like,
I
she'll
won't
give
buy
me the
you.
worst
I
one
won't buy
ever.
you a banana. I'll buy you a watermelon.
Exactly. She'll buy me a banana.
I'll buy you a watermelon.
I don't want
don't
a
worry.
watermelon either.
I think it should be.
I'll take the tutu.
We'll have a house party. That way we're not in public.
Right.
No,
But-
the Ave.
right.
We got to go on the Ave. Go to Throw.
Oh my God. We're all gonna look like Pretty Woman.
I
know?
like
Could you
the,
imagine what that would look like?
my
the
God, I'm scared.
inflatables. Did you see the inflatables?
Oh my God, I
we saw
love
that. You
them.
said that.
I actually Googled them I looked them up on Amazon. I was like, inflatable costumes, because I was like, I'll buy some if they're cheap. And the only thing that came up was like the dogs and
Or
the
the
giraffes
dinosaur.
and like the dinosaurs, and those didn't come up.
I had that when I was a little kid. My grandma bought them for me and my brother. They matched. They were inflatable monsters.
Wow.
Yeah,
They had them back then.
they did.
Wow.
Back then, all the way
That was
like,
back then when I was young too.
before Christ.
I've never seen them. No. Come on now. That's
It
not
was
how
close.
I meant
It was definitely the 70s. It was the 70s for sure.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. So are you nervous about, now that you're moving, having to start over in a new place and coming up with another girl gang there? And
You can't have another girl gang.
yeah, this is the OG.
Right. Sorry.
So I think that I was meant to come here to Florida, right, for 2 years to have this experience, and mostly with all of you,
Right.
more so than anything. And I think it was to prepare me for the next step. So for people who are listening, I just got offered a really phenomenal position with the federal government.
Yeah.
Hey,
She's kinda smart.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
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 Depends on the subject
Right.
matter.
Exactly.
And so I have to move, and I don't know anybody there, not a single person.
It's okay. We're coming.
I know.
We'll get an
I got you,
Airbnb with
and you're
a
not going
pool.
to kick me off the thread, and I know that. But I think I had to have this experience of coming to Florida to see that I could make friends in a new place. And I came down here with a significant other, which is no longer, but I had this opportunity to meet beautiful, amazing friends and to see how easy it was and to find just inspirational people. Like, I mean, the people in our group, you're all professionals, you're successful, you're intelligent, you're beautiful, you know, and people look at us and they're like, you know, sometimes think that we're like, again, like man haters or something. We're not.
Let the haters
Who
hate.
thinks that? Like, I
Yeah.
don't even
We were having a conversation
Yeah.
before,
Well,
but
those people aren't paying attention.
They're
because
not.
it's not true at
Because
all.
we're confident, successful, supportive women.
Right.
And without having found this the last 2 years, I don't know that I would have had the ability or the strength to go to DC and take this path.
Right.
But I feel confident in doing it. Am I scared? Hell yeah, I'm scared. Right?
Of course.
Yeah, it's
Because it's scary.
Right. It's
Anything
scary.
new
It's a powerful job.
Yeah, and I'm going
Yeah.
to be in the federal government
You're a
working
rock
on
star.
creating like climate policy for banks. Like it's a
crazy.
big deal.
I know. It's ridiculous. It's awesome.
But I feel so grateful for this because now I feel like, oh, I can go anywhere.
right.
I can do anything.
Yeah.
And I'll
And you
find women
always
there.
have this to fall back on.
Yeah.
And
know what I
knowing
mean?
you so well, like I feel like I haven't known her super long, but like I know her really well. And I feel like this is the kind of thing you needed. Like you're the kind of person that needed the like reassurance, especially
Yeah.
after a breakup, that like you can do whatever, you know? And we are all, and there's our girl gang's what, like 20 people?
Right.
15, 20 people.
people.
You've got us all like, oh my God, Tanya's a rock star, you know? And I feel like that really is something, right?
Well, I think the funny thing is that I didn't have like a ton of self-confidence that I could do do life on my own until I met all of you. And then I saw
my point.
like all of you really strong women, and a lot of you are single and you're just killing it. And you're happy, and I'm like, but you're single, you know, like
Yeah,
is what's wrong with you?
right,
Like,
there's that myth that
is
women
there-
all think they need a
right,
man
is
to
there-
feel happy
why
or
do-
sex and,
right,
and
like you're
fulfilled
beautiful,
or whatever.
you're funny, you're intelligent, you're successful, you have your own money. Like, why don't you have a man? And some of you, and I'm not going to name names, but some of you have been like, look, my life's fantastic. If they're not going to enhance my life, I'm fine being single. And I was like, oh, I can do that too.
You
Right.
totally can. And you're smarter than me.
It's the funniest
mean-
thing for you to hear you say that, because it's one of those things of like, I say it all the time that we all need to borrow somebody else's vision of us, like the view of us from outside. It's
Yeah,
like,
you do say
can
that.
you step into my eyes and look at you? Because everything you just said about all of us is you describing you to me.
Aw.
Like, I don't have that view of you that, like, to hear you say that you thought you had to be in a relationship with a man, like, that's actually surprising to me. And maybe it's just a shift, and maybe I came in somewhere along the way knowing you, but like, you're so educated, which, you know, education is great and it has a place in the world. It's not necessary for intelligence. We
That's
know
right.
that. But you have this like amazing gift in this world that is unlike anybody else. And that's true of a lot of people, but you just have, I don't know, a different energy than many, many women. And I don't know what it is. I don't know that I could put a finger on it. So it's very interesting to hear you say it about all the other people, because I also think that we attract who we are. So, and I think that's part of this girl gang is we have attracted women that do have emotional intelligence, do have all the things you just said, including you.
Right.
Here's the thing that I'll
Water
say that
seeks its own level, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think the thing that I'll add to that that's unique about this group, and this is a thing that I think a quality that I have, and I don't know how I got it or how I maintain it. I don't know how to intentionally hurt another human being. It's not to say that I'm not going to hurt another being by doing something, but I'm going to feel bad about it.
It's not your intention.
It's never my intention to be mean, to hurt someone. And I find that to be the case about every single one of the people that's in our group.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say is the one thing that I think the one common denominator, and there's many, but the one that sticks out to me the most is if you look at the list of girls that are in that group, they are all very caring, giving, generous. Even me, the spicy one, I have my good moments.
You're probably one of the more generous ones.
You are.
On top of the list, I feel like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a pretty generous person, but it's amazing how all of those people are, you know, they're philanthropic and they're very supportive, and we're all going. The majority of the women I know in that group are all going through something, and we've all just. I don't know. We all just mesh. It's so crazy because there's so many of us.
Yeah.
You think it's easier in a smaller group and it gets harder with so many women in the group, but it hasn't been the case.
I feel like one of us could put in that stupid chat, like, my tire is flat, I need somebody to pick me up. And there'd probably be 5 people being like, all right, where are you at? You know? And
Well, that happened recently, right? Like on a Saturday morning after a night out. Right? I'll own this.
Is this about your wallet?
Yep. I woke up, went to go to the grocery store because I had no food, and went to get my wallet, and there's no wallet. And I had texted Pam like some pictures from the night before. We were out at the video arcade till like 11 o'clock playing skee ball, which
who won?
I know you won.
I love skee ball. I
know
wish I had been
this is
there.
not so scandalous. We should like we're playing skee
All right,
ball.
so we were drunk playing skee ball.
We were drunk
but
playing skee
yeah.
ball. And I wake up the next morning and I don't have a wallet. And I'm freaking out because I realize, and this is a silly mistake on my part, but I had every credit card, every debit card.
I would have been freaking out.
Every access to money.
Lesson learned
in
today.
That. And I immediately called Pam. I'm texting her. She's not responding. She didn't respond to my previous text. And I thought, oh my gosh, did I do something? Is she upset with me? Like why? Like this is my brain on like anxiety.
On hangover. That's your brain on hangover.
On anxiety. Like is
like
Pam
it.
mad
Anxiety.
at me? And so she's not replying. And so I'm starting to freak out. And so I call the credit card company. I'm like, I need you to cancel my card. And then I don't know what to do. So I call another friend in our group and I say, hey, this is what's going on. And she's like, okay. I'm on my way. I'm going to get you some lunch, and then we're going to go to every bar that you went to in Delray the night before.
And she's calling
we're
me,
going to find
too.
your wallet.
And she
and
called
then
me.
she goes, is there anything else you need? And I go, yeah, can you call Pam and see if she's mad at me?
Yeah, this was actually really funny because
That's hilarious.
well, this was sort of like unfortunate. She had sent me, this was like an unfortunate accident. So she had sent me these photos of our crazy night that morning, apparently. I never got them. So she thinks I didn't respond.
Because you have an Android.
No, my Android's the best, by the way.
Pam always responds. If you know Pam, she replies.
Yeah,
Like
she
it
does.
makes me the queen.
Within 5
You're
minutes.
great at responding.
Yeah.
So I didn't respond because I didn't get a text from her. Then I went to the pool, and then I came
a
home
shower.
and I took a shower.
Like normal lifestyle.
And you know how I all feel about my hair takes a whole thing because I have curly hair and I wear my hair straight, so it's like a whole process, right? So I'm in the bathroom, the phone is charging in the kitchen, and I miss her phone call, I miss her text. So I come out and I'm like, oh, look. So I see her text first. So I'm like, all right, let me look in my car first. So I'm literally wrapped in a towel going out in the garage because I don't want to call her not knowing if I have it or not, right? So of course I have it. And
I believe your phone call was, you're such an asshole, I have your wallet.
It was. No, it was, what the fuck are you crying for? I have your wallet. She was
Oh
hysterical.
my gosh.
Yeah. And so she thought I was mad at her. Meanwhile, I didn't get that text. So that's
Right.
why she thinks I'm not responding to her. But I showed her my phone. I'm like, I do not have those photos. I only got those photos when you put them in the girl group.
That's because it's an Android.
No, my Android's
But you're
the
right.
best.
I never
Like,
even
it's
saw
like-
those photos because you have an Android. I'm like, I'm not seeing pictures.
And she
Actually, then
thought I had a different. I had a
Everyone was
change.
commenting on the photos, and I'm like, what photos?
but I don't think they were in the text group.
It wasn't.
It wasn't in the text group.
Oh, well,
I
there
text
was
Android and Apple text just fine.
There was one in the.
The only thing we can't do
I
is
actually
FaceTime.
tried sending you the pictures of the mask, and it wouldn't go through.
Oh, that's weird. I don't think
It's
that's
always-
the Android thing because I text customers. Everybody's got an iPhone.
It's so weird.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
It might
that must
be a
have been
setting on
connection.
your iPhone.
Yeah,
or
I
a
don't know.
connection because like
It could
I
be.
didn't get her text, but like I get everybody else's photos.
But the point
and stuff.
was like in that moment, I'm like and then this is self-induced. This
Right.
is a self-induced like
Well, that's what I was
paranoia.
trying to be like, stop being
my
an
friends
asshole. What
are
am I
like,
mad at you for?
I'm coming to get you. I'm taking you to lunch. Do you need food? We'll go to the grocery store. And then, and then you're calling and you're
How
like,
much money do you need?
I know.
Well,
like,
no, because then I said to her, like, what would I be mad about? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well then why do you think I'm mad at you?
girls.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. What did you do that you think I'm mad?
We're such overthinkers.
Right.
We are.
I was just in the shower.
It is true because right before this, I had texted my best friend, who's been my best friend for like 20 plus years. She lives in LA, and I called her a few times, and it's very unlike her to call me back. And she hadn't, and I knew she was not feeling good, and I know she's on the road with her daughter who's playing sports at Stanford right now. And I'm like, okay, so she has a lot going on. I'm like, I don't know, I gotta check that something's not wrong. So I text her. I'm like, and we call it perception checking. I'm like, is everything
I like
okay?
that.
Are we good? I just don't know if something's wrong because you haven't called me back, and I know that there's a lot going on. She's like, I'm sick and I'm traveling. She's like, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, just checking. But it's we
And
overthink it.
I've done that to you a couple of times
Yeah.
where I've texted her and it's like a whole day goes by. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I will send her a text. I'm like, why are you ignoring me?
The text you sent to say, hey, come on, sweet and spicy with me and Tonya on that text,
Oh, yeah.
she didn't respond.
Because I was out.
Yeah, but then you
You're
forgot.
not
And then I
good at
forgot.
responding.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
But then she forgot. But she always responds to me.
Yeah.
So the next day, I asked her something else and she didn't respond or something.
And then you're like, are you okay?
So I was like a little worried, like, oh my God, are you okay? Because you didn't respond to me, you didn't respond to Carolina, and and she was like, I'm fine. And then she was like, oh yeah, what text about Carolina?
Yeah.
It's definitely a good reminder to like, don't read into somebody not replying to a text,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
there could be a day where you're like, I'm just going to set my phone down or put it on Do
That's
Not
right.
Disturb. And we don't know what's going on, but you can't
we're
just
allowed to do
assume.
that.
Absolutely. And we should all do it
Yeah.
more regularly than we probably do.
Well,
right?
today I was showing a house and I had two text conversations going on while I was trying to do that. So one was more important. The other one is for tomorrow. So I was like, all right. So I opened it, which is a mistake because if I open it, then the alert goes away. Right. So then sometimes I
That's
forget.
what happened. That's what happened with that
Right.
one.
And then I forget it's there. So that sometimes happens when I
Yeah.
don't respond.
So,
Yes.
Janine, I miss your voice, Janine.
My name is Bertha.
So what input do you have? What do you love about this girl group, this girl gang?
I like it because there's no drama, and I love no drama. I am a guys girl. What is that?
You can't say a girl's
Girl's
girl.
Got-
You're married.
no.
I'm not a girl's girl.
You're married to a man.
I cohabitate well with men. I was raised by a man. I like no nonsense from men. So what I love about this group is that there's no nonsense. There's no gossip and drama. It's just, hey, let's go here. Let's have a good time. I hope everyone gets home safe. I hope everyone's doing well. Let's send some funny memes. I'm the queen of that. I always try to send funny stuff. But life is about enjoyment and having fun and not taking things so seriously.
Yeah, and before you came in, Andrea, I think it was before you came in, we were talking, Janine had brought up a point that there's so many girls in the group, and yet we have not come across where we're, calling you like, oh my God, can you believe what so-and-so did? And
Right. Isn't that
has not
weird?
happened.
It's weird for girls.
I think it's a testament to the evolution of where we are evolving to. Like, I'll hold that space because I would prefer to, and maybe it's because we all don't want to be in that space. And then we found each other of people who aren't in that space, right? Of, look, we're not in our 20s. It doesn't need to be that way anymore. And I actually think that even watching some of these younger kids, like they're not doing it as much either. So I think that there is an evolution. That's what I'm saying as humanity, that maybe we're elevating above that a little. Is it still going to be present on the planet? I'm sure. But I would prefer to exist in a space where we don't have to deal with that anymore. You know, and like, I think the biggest drama that I've seen is somebody said, hey, did I offend somebody because I wasn't invited to that thing? And the answer was, no, we have 20 threads going.
Right.
We don't know who's on
And
what
it usually
thread.
falls on me because I'm the one sending the invite, and that happened. And
Right. But again, there's no animosity. There's no, oh, let's keep that person out. There's none of it. It's just literally there's
fact,
too many threads.
It was like, let's correct it.
Yes.
And we
Do one.
did the one thread.
We
And
fixed it.
and I was worried about annoying people is really what it was with all the invites. And I'm like, you know what? And that's why I said in the thing, if you get annoyed with all these invites,
Mute
you
it.
can
Put it
leave
on
the group.
silent or leave the
Mute
group.
it. You can mute it.
I
Yeah.
mute them because sometimes
We
I'm
know
with
it annoys you,
customers,
and that's okay.
It doesn't annoy me, actually. I kind of love it.
Yeah, I
My
mute
only
it and go
issue
to bed.
is when I'm in the middle, like when I was in St. Augustine with my nephew, oh my God, I couldn't keep up with it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I was busy and it was sunny and it was pouring there.
And
on
then I
top
was
of it.
blowing up your phone.
Oh my God, there's like 25 texts and I look and I'm like, oh my God, somebody just tell me what time to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I know.
Where-
I've gotten
You know?
out of something and there's 75 unread texts
Right.
before we had the Facebook group, and I was
Right.
like, oh, I've missed something.
I'm like, just as long as if I'm missing someone to call me. Like that's kind of what, you know, I want to go. So
Right.
just call me and tell me. But I think part of this whole thing about why there's no cattiness in our group is because it's also, you know, maybe it's our age, but I feel like I said, water seeks its own level. So we've got like enough confident women maybe. And from cattiness, I think always comes from like instability or you're not confident enough in who you are. So then you're trying to make somebody else feel bad
Right.
to make yourself feel better. But that's just not the case for the women in our group. We all do different things, but we're all pretty confident in our abilities, you
Right.
know, and we all work. You
Right.
know, there's nobody that doesn't work.
Right.
So we all have businesses or work in an advisory situation too, I think. So I think that helps because when you're confident, you just go out to have fun,
Right.
right?
And also, I do want to bring this up because there is a flip side to, you know, you said we all get along. It's very peaceful and harmonious and all of that. But I will bring this up because it gets to, in my field, in my line of work, I see a lot of, I don't know how to put it, but I see a lot of frou-frou, like,
I know what you mean.
Superficial.
right.
Love you.
Right.
Yeah.
Love you.
And there has been a couple of times where Andrea and I have been out with a third party, and Andrea and I have gotten into it. And I won't say names, but the third party was like, they were like, oh my God, what is happening? And I honestly thought about it for a while, and I'm like, you know, that's the part I don't like. The fact that you saw us having a real conversation, a real debate, or a real argument, and you were shocked by that. Like, to me,
Do they
That's-
think you're exactly the same?
like that, to me, that's real life.
Right.
To me, that is
then
a
you're
real
not
friendship.
the same people.
I
so
am
you
not
can't
going
possibly
to
not
kiss
argue.
someone's ass or tell you what you want. And Andrea knows. That's why she sends me all her outfits, because I'll tell her, no, that's terrible.
I
or
hope you all tell
whatever.
me. I hope you tell me to shut up if I say whatever. I
But
want
it's
the truth.
You have to have real
We're
conversations too.
authentic. I think
You
we all
have
love
to be
that.
authentic. And
I
if-
yell
did
at
it
her
to me
all the
today.
time.
No, you did it today. We got here and
I
she
did.
goes, you
'Cause
know
I knew what
you
happened.
know I love you, but
Yeah.
I told you so.
you
How
guys
many
remind
times
me
do I
a
have
lot
to
of
tell
me and
you?
Andrea.
Yeah.
Because we're honest and we're real with each
Right.
other, and that's what I want in a friend.
And
I-
even Anne the other day too. Remember, I was trying to buy this like thing for it's a real estate thing, and I was trying to buy this super expensive like it was like a marketing thing. I don't know. I was like, oh, what could I do that's new, right? And I called Anne, which was smart because Anne was like, what the fuck do you need that for?
She seems like the voice of reason.
She's like my mom sometimes. We're the same age virtually, but she was like, what the fuck do you need that for?
it sounds
And
just like her. What the
she's
fuck
like,
do
right.
you need that for?
So I was like, I started laughing. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Right. And I can get everything that I was like trying to get. Like I can get it online for free, really. And I was going to pay this chick thousands of dollars. Right. And Anne was like, oh, stop. Don't be ridiculous. She was literally yelling at me. And then she was yelling at me through email. And then she hung up. She stopped that and called me or started texting me or something just to yell at me. I was like, okay, that's what I needed. You
You
know?
know, it's funny because we really do come to each other's needs. So Sunday, like the anxiety day, lost my wallet day, I'm like, I'm having a really shitty day. And the person that was like, I'm going to come get you. What do you want for lunch? Came to my house for dinner,
I can imagine who that person is.
created a board of Post-it notes of all the shit that that I have to do in the next 30 days for my move. And it's list your house, right? Pay your electric bill, find an apartment, sign your lease.
She's an organized person, too.
You know, pack your kitchen, go to the keys. I mean, there must be like 40 Post-it notes now. And then she sat there and she's like, okay, what's next?
Do you know that I read every single one of those Post-it notes when
it's so funny because I had to take the post down because people were sending me emails and they're like, I didn't know you got a job in DC.
Oh my God.
That's so funny. I didn't even think to because I
read every
looked
one
at
of
more
them.
like
You're
the
third
purpose
person.
of it.
You're the third person.
I
that
was
said
curious.
I thought it was like
it's
the
And I thought it
fine.
was great.
And
I
no,
thought
it's
it was
fine.
a
It's
great
great.
idea.
As long as you give her tacos after, she will do
I
anything.
made steak tacos.
I know.
And she brought tequila and it
I
was
know.
all good.
I'm telling you, you feed her and you
Yeah.
can pay her in tacos.
Tacos and tequila and it's all good.
Yeah.
But I had to take it
and
down
she's
because
the
I
one that
hadn't
said
made
we
the
were.
announcement
I was
yet.
too sweet to talk about her on the show.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
In the
You're
thing.
too sweet to talk
right.
about her.
I was like, this is not Andrea. This is. Yeah.
She's spicy though.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
definitely spicy.
Yeah.
The other one too.
Yeah.
This one is spicy, but the other one too.
And she took me on an adventure to Miami last week because I was having a rough week. And we
Yep.
went to this Cuban restaurant and there was this big Cuban band at like 2:00 in the afternoon and she took me to, like a car
Oh, that's
room.
awesome.
When my dog died, she was sending me like funny text memes.
I
Like
remember.
just to make me laugh. Like
That was
just
such
like
a hard time
funny.
for
She's
you.
amazing.
Right, like just stupid shit, just like through text. And I'd just be at work, I'd be at my desk, and then there'd be like this ridiculous text from her, you know.
Everybody needs a friend like
Right,
her.
exactly.
And
Just
we
to
have a
kinda,
lot
like,
of us
make
in the
you
group.
laugh.
Yeah.
A lot of us.
You know?
I think you could reach out to any one of us
Right.
and we would all do the same.
Exactly. I
You
feel
know,
like
it's
everybody
funny
cares
'cause-
about everybody.
I don't know. Talia is looking for a place.
Right.
And I made it my mission. I'm like Googling apartments for rent in Boca, apartments for rent in I'm texting her like places and
I told her to go into the all the Facebook groups because she's
Yeah.
looking really more for
Roommates.
like a roommate. But
Yeah.
so I told
but
her
I
to go
think
there.
that
And
we
she,
all do that for each other.
We help each
right,
other.
like if you say I need this or whatever, we're all like trying to. I feel like help. Like I said, you're stuck on the side of the road. There's going to be 5 of us that are going to be able to come get you.
Yeah.
We're networkers too, though. Like we're go-getters. I think it goes to our personality. And talking about like the universe and the evolution, I think, collectives are forming, right? Like I think that we're a collective of like-minded individuals. And I think that's happening all over the place.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Energy.
It is. And I think too, like I've always been that person that like if I'm going through something, I don't retreat. If I retreat, that's not good. And then I start thinking, and I'm one of those like, if like some people want to be sad and want to wallow in their problems, I want to like not think about my problems. So that's where girls come into play, girlfriends come into play, because then I go out, I have a drink or 2 or 4, and I'm fine, and
No
I
more than 4.
chit-chat.
Here 4.
I do. I count them. But I feel like that's what it is. Like I don't want to be sad.
Right.
And I think all of us, none of us want to
We
be
don't
sad. We're not that girl.
We're
you
not
know?
that girl.
Right.
Very true. But and I think too, again, we've found other women that want to choose to be happy.
That's my point. Like,
Yes, exactly.
Nobody wants to sit at home and cry and be angry
We
or
don't.
right. So we're all looking for stuff to do so that we don't do that.
right.
And even when we're sad, we go play skee
We
ball
still
or-
go out.
or dance and
And I'm
karaoke.
gonna kick your ass still.
Yeah. It's funny. I was at the beach with my mom the other day, the same day that you texted me a little later after I left. And she had said to me, you never told me what really happened with Mai. Because when it first happened, she's like, she had asked me and I was like, it's over. I don't want to talk about it. So, but my ex previous to that was horrible. I was a complete and I had a lot of friends at the time, but I made him my number one priority, and my life revolved around him. And I had a mental breakdown. I made some really bad decisions. I was almost like put in a place because of my breakdown. It was really, really, really bad for a long time. And I had to stay with my mom for a week for her to watch over me. It was awful. And so she was like, it's so weird to me that, you know, you were so crazy about this guy. And I think about your other one, and the difference in the reaction is completely different because you're like, meh, like.
I have to
And
say,
I said-
I thought that about you. I was like, wow, she handled that.
Me too.
And I was like, I owe it 100% to this friend group. Honestly, because it's like, oh my, I'm so happy.
Just kept you
like,
busy.
I don't. Who cares? I have 20 of them.
Right.
I swear that is
never
what
alone.
that is what did it for me.
Right,
Well,
you're
it's-
never alone.
It's even that night that you, Anthea, Tammy, and I were going out and going to the comedy show. And we all had reasons to cancel. Like, we all had shit going on.
I remember that.
And
remember
we
that?
all
Yeah.
showed up, right? And
We all wanted to cancel.
we
Every
all
one of us
wanted to cancel. And we
That's when you
didn't.
don't cancel.
And we didn't know that though. We didn't know it till we got there. And it was like we had an in-depth conversation. I was really late because I texted Caroline. I'm like, look, I'm going to be late, but I'm making it, which is the win right now. And she was like, you're good. And then she got there. She's like, we all wanted to cancel.
Yeah, it's funny because I can usually get a sense of when Andrea's not going to show up at something or she's going to cancel. So I was kind of like feeding her, like, what are you wearing tonight? To kind of see, gauge. And so she was like, I don't know, I'm really not. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then she's like, okay, maybe I'll go, whatever. So I get there. And Tammy is literally like walking down the street. She's like, I almost didn't come tonight. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm glad you're here. Then we sit down and then Anthea walks in. She's like, girls, she's like, I almost canceled. And I was like, what is happening? And then she is like, I'm getting ready and I'm coming over. I'm like, this is so crazy. And we ended up we were all going through shit. And we ended up having a great night. Although Anthea fell asleep in the comedy show.
Oh,
It
no
was the
way.
funniest thing ever.
Oh, my God.
It was so bad.
Did they not make fun of her? I would think they would totally attack her.
First of all, this comedy show was so bad.
Oh.
I felt bad for the comedians
I
at
did
the same
too.
time because you're in Boca and it was an older and the comedian was Jewish, so that's how he joked half of the people in the audience were his relatives.
Yeah.
But he was like racy and you could tell they were not there for it. It was so awkward.
And Anthea's like,
And she's asleep.
we took pictures. I mean, it was hilarious.
my God. How do you fall? Because I would think
he was loud.
I would die before I'd fall asleep because I'd be like, they'd attack me. The comedian would attack me.
She'd wake up and go,
I'd wake up with like a mustache, like from a marker.
she'd wake up and tell Tammy, he's not funny, and go back to sleep.
Have
Oh
you
my
ever
God.
been heckled? I was heckled by Sinbad at the Palm Beach Improv 15 years ago.
Sinbad.
That's why I don't
That's
sit in
at
the front
least
row.
a good one.
You just dated yourself.
I know.
Literally,
right?
his crowd work was amazing. He did everything off the cuff, and for whatever reason, I was sitting in the front. My friend was a radio DJ, and she had seats right up front, and I'm like, oh, whatever, we'll sit right up front. I'm not worried, and I was mortified. Now I always try to sit in the back.
Yeah, I never get seats in
I
the
would
front.
never fall asleep. I'm like, oh my God, they would attack. Yeah.
Anyway, it reminds me of that night because sometimes you just show up and you don't know why, but
You just
that's
gotta show
there.
up.
And that's another thing I want to say. Like, okay, we went out to dinner and comedy that night, but you guys have gone out on your own. And nobody, again, I don't think anybody.
no jealousy.
It's not
No.
that way. And I do think that's rare.
Well, how funny
know?
would it be if we went as a unit every single place we went?
I mean, it
Right.
would be very large. It
would be extremely large.
unwieldy.
And I don't think we could agree on where to eat.
Yeah.
You know?
But
Yeah, where to
it's-
eat, where to go.
Right.
It's definitely special.
Right.
It's definitely special.
Right.
So what do you think we should do?
Well, I do appreciate, some of them. The Caroline always finds those ones where we should all do, we did that one by the pool,
Yeah.
where Tonya kind of rolled over. Not you, this Tonya.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Tonya.
What does that mean? Rolled over.
Did you watch that video?
Oh, where her hand just gave out.
okay, so we were,
doing the push-ups with the drinks.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Right. So I do appreciate that Carolina finds some of those, and I do think we should start doing some of those at our little parties.
Or the one where she just dumped the water in my face.
Oh my God. I want to do the cheers one where we have to
I
do
love
that
that
before
one.
you go.
Yeah.
Where all the girls are sitting in the living room or singing the song Cheers. Was it Cheers?
It was the theme to Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or everybody knows your name.
Well, maybe it's like
Yeah.
for my going away party, we should meet at your house and do the cheers thing, and then we all go out.
And then we
together.
all go to Throw Social.
We really need to do that.
As
That
long
is
as we
so
can
fun.
pull out
I
the
don't think I've
pasties
seen
that are
that.
still in the
Where are
container.
the
gosh,
cool
these-
pasties?
Yeah,
I've
the
got-
pasties disappeared.
So I haven't even opened the package, and I have like 25, animal koozies that are ready to rock and roll. So maybe
Animal
another,
koozies.
like the little flamingo ones and the.
We can do another.
I think I have a unicorn one.
Oh,
and
I remember. I had the black unicorn one or something.
the swan,
The
right?
swan. I had the black swan, remember?
That fits you.
Yeah.
I think
It
we
actually
should
does.
definitely do another
It does.
one more at Aloft.
Yeah, one more, but it's got to cool off.
I know.
I don't like their
Well,
pools
I was
too
going to
hot.
say one more before you leave, but
Your pool was way better than Aloft.
You know
no
what?
offense to Aloft. God bless them. That's nice, but it was hot.
When's he going away?
Next weekend. It's free.
That's awesome.
Dead silence. We're all plotting.
yeah, I'm already,
You
my
never
wheels
want
are
us all to
turning.
be silent. You never want us to be
Bring
silent.
back the pasties.
It doesn't
Bad
happen
things
very
happen
often
when we're silent.
I'll make sure I don't plan anything for that night. I was so upset that I had to leave.
All next weekend's open.
Oh, please.
I'm
you
out
had a
of
fun
town.
night.
I did, as far as I can remember.
As far as you can remember.
Picture evidence says you did.
We didn't do
That's true.
anything. Our plans are always big.
That's so weird that you,
know?
guys did.
I mean, that's
Andrea told me, she's like, you didn't miss anything. Everybody didn't go
we got
out. I'm
tired.
like,
It
what?
was such a quiet
got
pool
tired.
party.
Most people weren't even really drinking.
I think it
like,
was
no,
very
because what did we do the night before? I think we all were drinking the night before.
Oh, not all of us, because I wasn't.
Yeah, 'cause
I
we
wasn't
work late
either.
Sometimes.
Me
I think
neither.
we did something. No,
It was just hot, I think.
and it
No,
was hot.
I think you did go
I
somewhere.
was out the night before. That's why I wasn't drinking so much. I had a
we
little
filmed
hangover.
the podcast.
Did we?
I think so. I think we did.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember what I did.
Yes,
I
it
was
was 2
out
weeks ago,
because
so
I had a little
yes.
hangover. I wasn't with you. I feel like I was with you because she's usually the cause of my hangover.
But I do think August should be dedicated to you.
So she's going away for 12 days.
What?
Well, the other 13 days.
You're going
of-
away for 12 days? in
Yeah,
August?
she's got to
right.
vacay with her daughters.
But we have
Other
yeah,
tw-
we're
19 days.
Gosh.
But yeah,
all
no,
right.
we've got time. We've got
We need
time.
to do a day thing, like a pool thing, one more time, and then a night thing.
Well, we're going to do the night thing at Throw, unless she's deciding to do that because she doesn't want to burden somebody with their house. Because I am happy to do a
I
house
think
party.
Throw is a blast. I have so much fun every time I go to Throw.
It's
All
your
right.
party. You can
Right,
pick where you
that's
want
what I
to.
said. But I
Let's
just
see
want to
who's
make sure
playing.
that's what she wants.
Let's see who's playing.
Okay.
I think it'll
Okay.
be fun no matter who's
Right.
playing.
Yeah.
If it's next weekend, I'm going to miss the pool party.
No,
but,
it's well, the pool might be next weekend, but
yeah.
the
But I won't miss the throw one.
Yeah, that's at the end of August.
Just our point, though. There's always something.
There's
Always
always something. Agree.
I think we should do instead of, and in addition to the vision board one, we should do something like end of year of like, something like a wrap up, assessment. I don't know. I don't know what it would look like.
Assessment. I think blowout.
As long as it's
assessment,
not
I'm
like,
like,
oh, I
blowout.
didn't achieve all these. Because I know, like, in
No.
my vision board, I had, like, this, like, relationship or
I don't think
things
it's
I
about
wanted to, like,
achieving.
focus on that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't
it's-
think it's about achieving.
That's why I
vision
said
boards.
assessment. It's more like, is this still a fit? Because it may not be. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Like, it's almost like a pre-planning of the vision board. Like, I'm looking at my vision board now. What doesn't fit for me looking at my next 12 months, And there's zero judgment there. It's like, does this dress still work? Maybe I want to donate it. Maybe I'm going to shed it.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
come up
you
with
know-
new ideas and your life changes and interests change and friends change
Yeah.
and, you grow and
For some of us, location's going to change.
Yeah.
It's going
Right.
to change.
and one of yours is going to be moved back to Florida.
Correct.
That's going to be on your vision board next year.
Retire.
Right. Retire.
Well, that's the hobby farm. I'm holding you to it.
I do want a hobby farm
And
with the donkey.
We're going to have chickens.
Oh my God.
Oh my
name's
gosh,
gonna be
that's
Hole.
hilarious.
I know you want to name the donkey something else, but the donkey's going to be named Hole.
Oh my gosh.
Why do we get whole? Where do you get whole from?
Asshole.
Oh, wow. Now I feel really stupid.
It's not that obvious.
I'm not even the blonde in this room.
I don't think we have any blondes in this room,
not
do we?
any- not any
No, we really
blondes.
don't, right? Yeah, no, that was stupid.
Don't tell.
Yeah, she knows what I want to name it, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I mean, this group has been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really, really sad that you're leaving.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool though, because the group will evolve. New people will come in. People will go out, and just what like a great like.
You can't leave the chat. We're going to drive you crazy with the chat. You're going to know where we are every single weekend.
That's great. Don't drop me from the
It
chat.
will still be good, but you can't be replaced.
I think we should escalate this to
We're gonna
like girl
torture you.
retreats. Can we do girl vacays? Like where we like rent an Airbnb
we're
or
doing
something?
that, Janine.
we're
We're
talking
getting
about it.
Listen, I'm putting this out there right now. Yes, we're going to come visit you, but I'm letting you know that for my 50th birthday,
Right.
which is in April, I want to do a girls' trip, and I want you to come.
I'm in.
So,
We need to.
yeah.
You and I need to
plan
talk. 'Cause
way ahead.
She's like, I'm going to get their Airbnb and then everybody can come. I'm like,
No,
you're
we're gonna
not
pay
getting
for
the
the
Airbnb.
Airbnb. We
And
got
she's like,
that.
I can't ask people to pay for it. I'm
I
like,
gotta ask about the Keys house.
Yes, there you
the
go.
Or
girls'
that,
house.
I would be down with that.
Oh,
but
she would totally be down
On
with
camera everywhere.
On
that.
camera.
Carolina, it would be
everywhere.
free in all aspects. Yeah.
But we
Is this
got to
the
plan
house?
it.
yeah, I know. We do. That has to be planned
And
ahead of
by
time.
we, I mean, you need to give us when you want to do it, and then the rest of us can plan it because you're
It
not going
sucks
to be
because Del
included.
Rey Affair always messes with my birthday.
Well, it'll be after that. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
It'll be
the
the
weekend
week
before or
before or
after.
after.
It is what it is.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
do it the week after. You'll be more relaxed.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's true, right?
Yes.
Good point.
Yeah, I agree.
I
So
do
what's
know
next?
you.
What's next for you?
Got a couple weeks.
She's got Post-its to
Where are
follow.
you going with your daughters?
So we're going to Denver and Breckenridge. And, when I grew up and when I was raising my kids, we were pretty poor. So we camped a lot. We did a lot of trips. We did cross-country trips, but we didn't have a lot of money, so we camped. So I'm getting this new job with the federal government. And surprise, surprise, it's going to pay me okay. And I'm like, we're staying in an Airbnb and you're going to have your own bed.
Wow.
And they're so excited because we're going to have our own beds and we're going to stay in the ski chalet. It was still cheap. It was still like $1,300 because like it's summer, right?
Right,
It's like
right.
off season, right? And so we're going to go and we're going to see a couple of my favorite bands, Shaky Graves and then Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats at Red Rock. And so,
The best venues ever.
we're going to do a week. I'm like, we're just going to go to the grocery store. We're going to just go. We're going to hike. We're going to play cards. We're going to like just have the best time.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then I got to find a place in DC and it's going to be go, 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 go and sell our place in Delray. And
Yeah, you're going to be busy.
yeah, game time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Game
Okay,
time.
Pam, what's next for you?
What's next for me?
Oh, good things.
What's next for me? What am I doing this weekend? I'm going to take my niece. My friend is in town from Prague. They're coming over for dinner on Sunday. Yeah. I don't know. Taco night? I don't know. What's next
Are you
for me?
dating?
No.
Not currently.
Not currently. Yeah, that's the right answer. Not currently. Yeah, I don't even know what's next for me. I mean, I'm just sort of I'm in my groove, I guess.
That's awesome.
Right? Like same, all good, same though. It's fine. Working and playing and working. Right?
Yeah, I love it.
Right? That's it.
Yeah.
And Andrea?
I have a trip next week. I'm going to Oregon to my best friend and her husband's property that I haven't been to yet and seen my nieces and nephew for the first time in almost a year. So I'm very excited about that. I see my sister and my dog. And then my cousin has a 50th birthday party at Lake Tahoe, which is really the reason I had to take it out there because he doesn't ask for a lot. And he was like, hey, I'm turning 50. You guys want to come up? And we're like,
Right.
everybody said yes. Like, it's cool because, when you have a family member that doesn't ask for a lot and was like, hey, you want to get together? You say yes. You
Oh,
know?
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
That'll
awesome.
be so fun though.
And his kids are little and they're growing up fast and we don't see him very often. So it's just, his mom, who's my aunt, died in 2009. And sometimes when that connection to the family goes away, it's harder to stay in contact. Whereas my aunt, who's alive, like we see that part of the family all the time.
Right.
Those cousins and that aunt and uncle. So, and my dad's on his way off this planet at some point in the next year or two, probably. And it's just interesting because my aunt will be the last alive one from that family. So
Wow.
it's interesting. I don't know why I went so deep, but that's what's next week. So I'm excited about it because going home to see family.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
yeah. What's
Awesome.
next for you? Spicy spice.
Well, Isabel, this is an exciting month in August because she starts her first travel team
And
for
high
softball.
school.
And she's doing rec. And she starts high school. So it's going to
Uber
be a little
mom.
bit crazy.
She's
Yeah.
a little rock star, that kid.
Yeah. So we'll see, we're going to take it one day at a time. And then I go see my son in Georgia in August and in September.
Are you fine?
Yeah.
Woo, woo, you
I
gotta
don't even
get
wanna
on a
think
plane
about it.
by the end of the year.
Do you not like
I'm
to fly?
petrified of flying. Like, it has crippled me my entire life. My whole family has flown all over the world. They've traveled everywhere, and I have said no every
You
single time,
just
and I
need
hate
pills.
it.
We'll talk about it. We'll
You
talk
need
about it. I
pills.
got
Hate
You
some
don't
it.
have
tips.
something you can
Do
throw
you?
at her?
Oh yeah, I got tips. We'll talk.
Actually, I
Yeah.
think, what about seeing a hypnotherapist?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I'm-
know one.
I know, there's a
Does it?
few. Yeah,
I need to do it.
There's like 2.
I need to do it.
Sam. I
Because
think you
I
love
want to go
Sam.
to
You would love
Greece.
Sam.
I want to go to Italy.
Greece.
And I'm
Me
like,
too.
gosh,
Girls trip?
I
I've
missed
never
out
been to
on so
Greece. I've been
much.
to Italy. I've never been to Greece.
Greece
Girls
is
trip.
amazing.
Girls trip.
Yeah.
50th birthday party. I wonder how expensive that is.
You know,
Well,
it would be
I have
fun if we
miles
did
for my plane ticket. I have enough for that.
What if we did like a Mediterranean, like Greek and Italian
Yes,
cruise?
please.
I would love to do
oh
a
my
cruise.
Because
God.
then we can all party like
Would
throughout the
love to do a
shift and then
cruise.
like do
No
fun
boats.
stuff during the day.
No boats for
No
you?
boats?
You should see a
Really?
hypnotherapist
I
for
kind
that.
of agree with Tanya.
Maybe
I
we'll
will-
get a 2-for-1.
No, I agree. I understand. Like cruises are fine. I
if-
can do it. But my only issue when you do a cruise, you don't get to see the whole place. Like you have to be whenever they dock. So it's like 9 a.m. or whatever.
Right.
Then you get off and you have to be back by like 4.
Yeah, I get it.
You
When
don't
you
even
don't
get
see the real
dinner.
thing.
What
You
if
don't
it
even
was
get
a
dinner.
charter cruise just for us and not a big cruise ship?
Yeah, no, that's cool. The thing I don't like about like commercial cruises, right, is what you see is not really authentic. A lot
Right.
of times, like it's
Agree.
built up. Like
They
don't
take
see
you to the port
or
and
to
you
the
only
port
have
or
time
whatever.
for that.
And I don't like, similar to flying, the feeling of being out of control. I like to take myself on a walk. I like to take myself in a car or whatever and have
Right.
control of where I go. And when a plane or a boat is in control of that, I don't like that feeling.
Right. Janine and I know a little bit about that.
We do.
Janine and I usually have to have my car. Janine, same
Yes.
things. I have
Yes,
to have my
ma'am.
car. I can't get stuck. If I want to go, I need to be able to go.
This is
I
kind
drive
of an
most of the time,
interesting,
too.
like psychological identification, though. Right now,
It's
like,
control issues.
None of us like to feel out of control.
No.
Well, I like to be in control of travel as far as in Italy because I live there. So if you guys ever want to go to Italy, like I still speak Italian, so we can have way too much fun under the radar that no one will ever hear about.
Well, you know what's funny about
Italy's amazing.
Italy is my mom called me the other day, and my grandfather is Italian. He's passed on, but he's Italian. And she called me and she said, "So I just found out that because your grandfather was Italian, that the family that's left is eligible to get an Italian passport. And with everything that's happening in the world, apparently it's the best passport to get."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she said, we can all get. Who knows if we have to leave one day? And
Right, that's
your kids
awesome.
are eligible. You are eligible. She's like, and I'll take care of the whole thing and blah blah blah. And all I'm thinking is, oh my god, how long is that flight? Oh my god,
9. 9 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently we're doing that, and it's getting me excited. Like I want to go,
Yeah.
but let's talk about the hypnotist.
Janine,
thing.
we're not going to Florence.
We have to go to. We
Florence?
have
We're
to,
not
why don't you
going
like
to
Florence?
Florence.
Pam, we would have the best.
It's so amazing.
flippin' story.
But I really want to go to South Italy because I haven't been there. But Florence is awesome.
Haven't been to North. I've been to Rome. I've been to Florence. And I think
Venice?
that's it. No, Venice.
No,
I'd
Venice.
love to see Venice.
I've been to Venice. a couple times.
Positano, Sorrento,
Yes, haven't
Capri.
been there.
It's
So many
amazing.
places.
Yeah.
So we're almost out of time, but we haven't done this in a while. So I'm going to wrap up with this. Can you two share your worst date ever or your best date ever? But we really like your worst date ever stories. My worst date ever. I know we're throwing you on the spot.
I probably
You
have
a
so
good
many I
one?
can't even think of it. My worst.
Where
What
like
was the
something
one-
wild happened or crazy or embarrassing or
I know the one where you wasn't it your guy you were dating pretty regularly and he was like forgot his wallet. I mean, did that just happen all the time? Is that we can bleep this out?
No, we don't have to. Okay, does that count? Because it wasn't
Yeah.
a first date.
that totally
I know.
counts.
It
was
doesn't
my
have to be first
boyfriend.
date
He played I forgot my wallet.
all the time, right?
Well, lots of times it was, me paying. But that one was a little annoying because he forgot his wallet and then he told me he was going to pay for dinner. I was like, it's fine, I got the bill. And he was like, no, I'm going to pay you for dinner. I was like, okay. And in the day and age of like Venmo and Zelle, like it's not really hard to pay for dinner. So we went to a very inexpensive place. We both drank 2 drinks. So it was 4 drinks and food. It was $80 plus tip. and which I think is inexpensive for 2 people, right?
Yeah.
So typically, if somebody says, I'm going to take you to dinner, you don't look at the check. But if you're going to pay for the dinner, you look at the check. So he grabbed the check and he looked at it, and I never saw the money, and I didn't hear from him at all the next day.
Did you ever hear from him again?
I did. Monday.
Oh, wow.
But he never
Like nothing
paid, yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Never. No. He tried to get me to pay for his gas too, but then I guess he changed his mind.
And how much longer did that last?
Not much.
Okay.
Very, very short time after.
Good.
Sorry, I like provided it for you. I didn't mean to.
No, that was actually a good one. I just, when you said it, I
Yeah,
thought of first dates.
yeah.
Right.
I was thinking first dates because I'm sure I've had some really, I did have a bad one at Vic and Angelo's actually. This guy brought a gun. He brought a gun, and then when he tried to lean in to kiss me, which I have given him, by the way, any men that listen to this, I don't know if there are, but if men are listening to this,
Glenn.
you should,
Hi, Glenn.
yeah, you should look for the signals.
As to whether it's welcome.
Right. And he leaned in to kiss me, and I went back, and he got angry and then threatened that he had a gun
What?
with him. Yeah.
That's the problematic part.
I actually called
That he
Delray Police. I called
threatened
Delray
that he
Police
had a
on
gun.
that. That
That's
freaked me out because I
crazy.
ran so fast to my car so he wouldn't see like where I was parked. Thank God for downtown because it's not like a parking lot.
Was
right?
this recent?
This was maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and then
crazy.
the one with that left me at La Bamba, screaming at me because I didn't like him.
Well, this leads to a good discussion because Pam has access
Oh
to
my
a
God.
system
I was
where you
thinking
can-
about this story as she was, I was hoping you
Oh,
were
the
going to
phone
bring this up.
numbers?
Yeah.
So Pam has access to a system as a realtor where she can put in people's phone numbers, right? So all of her friends text her phone numbers like
it's
frequently.
like a lot of friends
Can
that
you
text me
can
phone
you run
numbers.
this number? Can you run this number?
Right.
And I had this online experience, and it didn't get to the dating point, but this person had me pinned, right? Like my profile's like, I like stilettos, but Birkenstocks, hiking, like all of these things about me, right? And red wine, and there's these pictures of me hiking and whatever. And so this very attractive person says he's from like Norway, and he calls himself a Viking, and I just think he's like so hot. And he's like, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm like, oh, what do you do? And I label myself as an attorney, right? So I'm
Entrepreneur
I'm
means I don't
target.
have a job.
And he's like, I'm in sunflower oil sales. And I'm like, oh my God. And you're like, hot. And like, this is the best thing ever. And you're a Viking. And so then we were going to chat. And then I realized, you're fucking catfishing me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, absolutely.
And I'm like,
He wanted to buy a house too. Was that the one? And you gave him my phone number. You're like, this guy, I just gave you a referral. She was like so
Oh
excited.
my gosh.
Yeah, of course. I never heard from this man.
and
Right.
so now I know how to pick them out. But it didn't get to the level of a date because I'm super, super cautious about who I go out with. I feel like online dating is so scary now.
It is.
It is.
You don't know them from
How about the
anyone.
one that was on his way to meet you, and you guys are looking
Checks his
him
record.
up, and you're like,
Oh, we met
my
him.
God.
We met him.
oh, I know you met him.
I was
but
on that
that's
date.
crazy.
Yeah, I was on that
felonies.
date. Yeah,
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
Look up the record first.
correct. Not while you're waiting for him to show up.
That's
Yeah.
right. But girls, be
So
careful.
you went with her?
yeah.
It's a long story. It was me and Talia.
But it was good. It was because I wanted them
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Because again, like I just think online dating is so scary, especially in South Florida because I'm not from here. And, to go out with people who are strangers ostensibly and then you go out and it's scary to me.
Yeah, it is.
But 2 rules. One is arrange to meet quickly because otherwise they're just lying. They're not actually here. They're probably
Right,
in like
exactly.
Africa or somewhere, right? And that's one. And then, do the background check through
Right.
her because
I require FaceTime at this point. I'm like, we are going to have a video
Interesting.
chat
Yeah.
before I meet you in person because I am not getting all dialed up to go and meet you
Smart.
and it'd be like, wah, wah,
Yeah.
like the second that I walk in. Like, don't waste my time.
So last really quick funny thing. So I told you last night I hated to this whole time on this podcast I have been so anti-online dating, and I didn't even tell Andrea that I had done this, but I had gone on the Facebook dating thing. And it was just to go on really quick. I was going to see who was there and then shut it down. And this one guy in Delray has been messaging me, and just the night before last, we're texting. And I'm very weary of everybody. And we're talking, and all of a sudden he sends me a text. It's like 11:30 at night. as we're talking, love you. I took my meds.
Oh my God.
Was it meant for someone else?
It totally was.
I don't know, but I wrote, huh? LOL. And the next morning he's like, ugh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, what meds did you take? Ambien. And he's like, ugh, again. And I'm like, this is why. Like, okay. First of all, who were you texting?
Right.
Love you.
That's
I
number
took my
one.
meds. And
Exactly.
something's up with you. So no.
So no.
I was like,
That's a no.
And I wouldn't call like Ambien like my meds.
I mean, it's okay
Right.
to take Ambien, but to
It is,
say
but
like,
I
love
feel
you,
like
took
my
meds, like, is
meds
that
means
for your
something
mom?
else.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that
Was he texting his
else.
mom?
something.
I don't know.
I think I would have been
Weird.
like, huh? And see ya.
Yeah, right.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Yeah, so
Bye-bye.
so there's no, yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
All right.
we are,
We're over
out of
time. Thank you,
Overtime.
girls. Of
Because
course,
we're
we
so
knew.
fun.
We knew
Yeah,
it was going to
we
go
are.
long, but that's all good. We appreciate you both. Love you. Thank you for being
Love
here.
you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
us.
us. Yeah.
And be sure to
Stay tuned.